Okay, so this is my first time, so I'm very excited and very honored. And as we start, we'll wait for Cinda to come in, but let's take a couple breaths in through our nose and hold it and exhale through our mouth. Hi, Cinda. Welcome. We're just grounding and centering. We're going to breathe in through our nose, hold it, blow it out through our mouth, knowing with each inhale, we're breathing in good into our entire being and exhaling all that doesn't serve our purpose in this space. And as we inhale and exhale, we call in the vortex, the guardian circle of protection to encapsulate us and all we love, everyone we love, knowing that in this space, we hold each other in honor and truth and love. And as always, we're going to go around, introduce ourselves, where we're from, and what we're bringing into the circle today. And I'll start. I'm Audrey. I'm from Wyoming, Pennsylvania, and I bring in joy and hope. And I pass it to Emma.
Oh, good to be here. I am Emma, and I am in Williamstown, Massachusetts. And I bring in kindness and compassion. I call on Sue.
Thank you. I'm Sue. I'm from Issaquah, Washington. I'm going to bring in acceptance. I guess that's what I'm bringing in, acceptance. Kelly.
Good afternoon, Kelly in Portland, Oregon, and I bring in the 0 point of all possibilities. And Arlie, I will tag you.
I'm Arlie in New Zealand, right across the harbor from Wellington. And I would like to bring in grounding and wings, connection. I feel a little disconnected and not plugged in is how I feel, but I want to be plugged in and also able to fly. So, and I will choose Cinda.
Cinda, just south of Portland, Oregon, and I'd like to bring in, I guess, the support of family. So, Audrey, back to you.
Okay.
No, Sharon, did we do Sharon?
Sharon, we did do Sharon.
Sharon, I'm so sorry.
Cinda. So Sharon Raji Maynard here on Whidbey Island. It's a little bit of sun today. It's been cool here, and I want to bring in deep transformational healing and release. Back to you, Audrey.
Okay, thank you. I'm just writing these down. So we are bringing in to our circle for the energy of the circle. Joy, hope, kindness, compassion, acceptance, 0 point of all possibilities, grounding, wings, connection, support of family, deep transformational healing, and release. And with that, I'm going to open with anybody who wants to start sharing things that are coming up within your life, within your field, that you want to bring into the intelligent field to be enlightened and tended to. And for me, I guess I'll start. Relationships are coming up. Relationships with people that don't always have same agreements, including family and women. So I'd like to bring the connection to women with other women into this today. And I tag Arlie.
As I said, I feel not exactly floaty, but definitely not plugged in. I feel, oh, I don't know, like somebody took an ice cream scoop and took a little scoop of power or something away. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
But that's how I'm feeling, and I really don't like it. So, and I'll pick Kelly.
I'm not quite sure how to phrase. There's a few things. I'm sitting with the joy of the fact that my son turns 30 on Friday. And that is just such an extraordinary thought for me. So I'm sitting with that. And then what I'm also sitting with is I took a power 10-minute lay down before this and saw a glitch in the system. And it looked, so I'm figuring out this glitch. So it was like these images of humanoids with hard hats on and vests, like they were construction workers, right? But every time they turned, it was like the TV channel clicked, the old time, and there was like, so every time I clicked the channel, I'd get a new face, but he'd look at me or it would look at me. I could see their eyes and then it'd go. So now I'm wondering, okay, so I'm going to bring in curiosity about what is this glitch that I'm picking up. There's a glitch in the system. So, and I will take some.
Oh my God, so many things we could be talking about. It's rather enlightening. Yeah, so both of my boys are visiting, and that's lovely. They brought their dogs. That's lovely. And I am, my house is covered in chewed up sticks and muddy paw prints. And one dog peed on the bed last night and drenched through the layers of everything. And I am just like, it's just so funny. It's just so funny. They're like, Mom, where's the broom? They think they're going to be helpful to clean up and, mop the floor. And I'm like, actually, I have a broom, but I don't have a mop. You don't have a mop? Why don't you have the mop? And I'm like, well, because we took it to one of your apartments and you guys kept it and haven't returned it yet. Okay, we'll go buy you a mop. And I'm like, for my birthday, yay, buy me a mop. It's like, oh my God. Oh my God. I feel like when they're, I have to whisper. When they're here, I can see where I have failed as a um, oh, no, I'm hot. Okay. So anyway, yeah, that's like, and I love them. I love them. And their dogs. I love them. Oh, I have failed in so many ways. Really, I don't even, I have to- Sue, return. Sue, you.
Oh, thank you. I needed that laugh. Acceptance. So I have been struggling with on and off just anger and rage. It just comes up. I mean, you can look at me and say hi, and I can just hit anger. And then actually something doesn't go my way, and I can just hit instant rage. And then I think it's going to destroy me, and it simmers down, but it comes back. So finally, I get to see what's behind it. And it's things in childhood I didn't accept, and I wanted them to be different. And I still want things to be different. So anyhow, I made the decision in the middle of seeing the rage as my go-to, so I don't have to be present for the unpleasant. And it seems like I got to the point where everything was unpleasant, out of my comfort zone, and unacceptable. I mean, you could be wearing something really cute and it is not acceptable. So it's unreasonable. But it has to get that big to see behind it and to surrender, accept, and let it go. So it takes whatever it takes. And I asked for everything in my way of embracing the goddess within. And so it comes up. Be careful what you ask for, it comes in spades. So I'm feeling sad. I may lose a friend. It's really scary. I've also been told that there's a lot of people leaving who are going to come right back. They cannot take this life any further in a consciousness that they need to reach. So they're leaving, and they're going to come right back with a higher consciousness, and they don't have to relearn things all over again. I'm going to accept that. So it's like the best of times and the worst of times. Remember that book, A Tale of Two Cities? I swear that's the way it is all the time. The best of times and the worst of times are happening all the time. So anyway, I'm just accepting it. But I'm seeing more and more of the goddess within, and it's just so amazing. We each have it, and I'm hoping we each claim it. Sharon, you're not going to be last this time.
Oh, hi. Oh, yeah, this is the last 2 weeks has been very, very intense with individuals that I'm working with. I think I've told you about, I got a group of about 9 individuals that are showing me some very, 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 very deep things that we haven't even been able to get to before that we can now. So I can tell you that energy fields continue to change up and open in ways that most people wouldn't know, but those who are rocking open the doors, it's been so difficult for them and for those supporting them. But one by one, their life's blossoming. And so I had another one pop this morning that said, this is what's going on. And it's like, oh my gosh, you made it through that. It's more than the dark night of the soul. I mean, these are really, really, they would have been so entrenched, they normally would have left the planet, like you say, Sue, to come back. And certainly there's going to be that, absolutely. And then there are some who don't want to leave and come back. They want to claim that higher level of awareness and consciousness in this body with those that they love, and that's happening too. So I'm feeling really you know, when you held on and held on and held on, and then you're over that hump, how like it was worth it. It's kind of what it's feeling like. Not that we're finished yet, but really good things happening out there in the world. So I'm bringing that hope and appreciation for the tenacity that people are having. And because I'm not doing the hosting, I didn't keep track. But Emma, have you shared? Okay, Emma, turn it over to you.
Oof. So my youngest sister's ex-husband is dying. He's got a rare form of leukemia, just got diagnosed in the past year. And it's been harrowing for him and for her and for their son. They've been divorced for quite a long time, and for, you know, a variety of reasons, she and her son are the only real caretakers for him. And so she has been taking him to appointments and sitting with him in the hospital, and he's in ICU right now. And Sharon sent me the 11th hour protocol that I'll work on with him on his behalf. And on all of their behalf, because there's a lot of very conflicted feelings. The marriage didn't end well. Their relationship was rocky, and yet they raised a child together, and, you know, and she's known him since she was, you know, in college. So it's a complicated mess. And as families go, my mom complicated it a little more. You know, Caroline sent an email to my mom and my other sister, and it was very personal and talking about what was going on. I was not included, which is fine. But my mom forwarded it to me. And so I spoke with my mom yesterday, and I said, I appreciate that you are letting me know how Tim is. And, you know, she said, are you going to call Caroline? You're going to do this, you're going to do that. And I said, you know, I'm really not comfortable, because she did not send that information to me directly. If she had wanted to, she could have easily. And so, you know, I feel like there was a little bit of, you know, overstepping boundaries. So everything gets very complicated so quickly and so easily. And I'm so grateful that I'm not really in the mix, and that I can do the work from here and not from the middle of the mess. And I feel a lot of compassion for what they're all experiencing, and I'm feeling grateful to have the distance. So that is where I am. Arlie, have you gone?
Yes, everybody's gone.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So we're going to take a pause before we start the meditation. And just think about what we're going to bring and call in our guides and call in Divine Mother, the beautiful, unconditional energy of love and peace as we start the journey. And as we start, you can turn off your cameras if you so choose and connect. And I'll see you in about 10 minutes. Welcome back. Would anybody like to start to share? Cinda?
I'll go because mine was pretty uneventful. I just said, take me where you want me to go, show me what you want me to see. And it just remained right where I was. So I thought, well, this isn't good. Okay, I need some help. So I took out a deck of cards and I sort of went through some cards to see what word would pop up, and generosity popped up. So I just swam in generosity and gratitude and realizing just how truly generous spirit is. And I just, it was just lovely. It was just lovely. So just swam in generosity. All right, and I'll bring Sharon in.
Great idea, Cinda. So what I was shown is to work with one specific person in my group of 9, and kind of was directed to use this client as a surrogate for the immense clearing work that's being done, and just saw where this person is in that transformational path. You know, that it's up for a lot of us in bigger ways than before. So I was just grateful to be able to have that time with you, the energy you guys bring to this circle, to bring it in behalf of this person. So, and I'm going to pass it to Emma.
I had this vision of souls, many, many, many souls lifting from the earth. Knowing there was a sense that they knew that they had lost their way, and they had lost their focus. And there was also a sense of joyfulness at being in closer connection with Source, and a sense that they were like girding their loins, preparing themselves to return, and not just as new births, but in a whole variety of ways, including walk-ins. And so there was just like, it was just sort of like that. It was really quite lovely. And I will call on Army.
Well, this was also short and sweet and seemed more like housekeeping. So the guides, I did the same thing Cinda did and asked, take me where I need to go, show me what I need to know. And my guide said that, yes, a form of energetic support had definitely been removed, and I was feeling that. But I didn't, that isn't what they wanted me to see, really. I mean, that's just like, yeah, here's some confirmation. And then they showed me a vision of a mini me, a 3-inch me, slogging along, pulling a plug, a regular size plug in a 3-inch me. And down at the other end of this big long cord, and this is a darkened room, by the way, is a nondescript floor lamp that will go on when plugged in. The light will come on. The idea being that I have to do the work to get reconnected, to get plugged in. So I took a look in front of me and the outlet. So I decided to hell with that, and I kind of tilted the floor a little. And then I built in an escalator next to it so that if the time comes when the escalator is appropriate, I can step on the escalator. So I have a little bit of work to do before I can get there, but I figured just since the idea I have the info now earned me the tilted floor. So why not? And that's what I was shown and what I did. So, Kelly?
Um, so I went with my glitch or whatever that was that I was seeing, and basically, which makes sense. I mean, it's just this new energy that's coming in, and people that are trying to, it's like they showed me the CB radio and they showed me the ham radios, and they showed me these like truck drivers like, hey, breaker 19, 1040, there's a policeman sitting on corner of whatever, you know, kind of gave me this pantomime of these radio frequencies, but then all of a sudden as they're talking, their communication was no longer moving, right? So, and then we went to the ham radios and longer antennas and all these different things. And we used to have CB radios back in the day, but so, and then they just showed me that there's just this new frequency, which we know, right? We know to be true, but there's something, it's like there's something that's going to be revealed, like a different way of communicating, a whole, like we're in 5G, yeah, but it's not 5G, man-made 5G. It's like this whole new energy that will come in that will supersede the CB radio, the ham radios, and almost make 5G obsolete when they tap into the natural frequency that's there versus having to create these towers. I have no idea the time. Anyway, that's what I was kind of playing around with. So that was, yeah, that was it. But I also felt a little bit of an energy in relationship to what Sue was saying about these bodies leaving, that those that can't connect to these frequencies that are like almost like just the energy is like bypassing them. It's just like they see one that maybe can get it, but it just goes right over them. If they're not there, or it's like they have a lead box around them, the energy goes up and around and goes over, but then something brand new. So that's where I was at today. So thank you. And Sue, did you go?
No.
So as soon as Kelly said what she was bringing into the circle, what I saw was, you know, the program, The Office, and there's a man who opens the Venetian blinds and looks through. That's what I saw. And so when we started our meditation, I had a place where I wanted my meditation to go to. And I immediately went to the Venetian blinds and someone peeking through. And the someone peeking through would shake his head so you couldn't see his face. You couldn't get a clear picture of his face. And I said, so I asked for clarity. And what I got was that, so I asked if the faces I was seeing were of our light. No, they're not of our light. So then I called in. So I started backtrack. I brought in the red rock vortex around the consciousness of low energy creatures, life forms. Called in the PTO, called in the PEG team, called in all the spiritual teams. And I said, identify, neutralize. And there was a freeze frame because I can't send them back because these don't have a home. I said, okay, if they don't have a home to go to, everything is in a freeze form. Where did this come from? And then I remembered hearing a channeling that the human mind can create all kinds of dark forces. I said, okay, if this is a dark force from the human imagination, I set the intention to uncreate. How about that? I set the intention to uncreate. Now can you do something with it? And that got a little fuzzy. So I just kept saying uncreate, uncreate, uncreate. And I was imagining like a mirage. You can see a mirage and it's not real. So de-story and uncreate. And then what I saw was the thinking, some of these, they dissolved. Some of them just dissolved. And then there was a whole bunch of more. And I said, okay, so now what is the makeup of what I'm seeing now? And it was pure left brain, like an assassin. Anything evil can be pure left brain, human, but so disconnected from heart and soul that it's pure left brain. And I said, okay, I'm setting the intention. I don't know what the intention is. And you guys have to do something about this. And I just watched because I didn't know what to do with it. So then I set the intention to just bring in love and light. And I said, and but beyond that, I don't know. So those who know go the next step. And I was just kind of watching that. But I'm not sure the next step has started because I don't see the next step at this point because they're human. They're the humans that we call and identify or judge as evil because of their behavior, like assassins or dictators or anyway. And I think that I will get that because like there is new energy coming in, new awareness that are coming in, new opportunities with the awareness to do something else. So that's where I kind of ended it. And it's like, okay, team, then keep everything frozen until you give me my next clue because I don't want to release the freeze frame. So it's in a freeze frame, and that's where I am. I'm complete. Emma, did you go? Emma, have you shared? Okay, are we back to Audrey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so for me, I got a hodgepodge in the beginning, and then a song came through by Melissa Etheridge about your legacy. And I was like, well, why are you talking about legacy? I'm not going anywhere. And it was almost like I was given a choice to almost like tap out. And I was like, that's okay, Kelly will take care of your book. And I was like, no, I don't want that. I don't want to do that. I want to go forward with this. And they're like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, no, this is what I signed up for. So it's almost like I had to come to a crossroads to take an exit point or keep on going almost. So I said, no, I want to be here. I want to do this. And so then I was shown like people, like women supporting people in an audience. And then there was like, how women tend to historically not support each other and have that jealousy component. So I asked the PTO team to deep six that all and send it back to source completely neutral and to bring in compassion and unity with all women and let that spark of unity surround and go to every woman on this planet so we can start rising up together. So that's what my experience was. So yeah, it was beautiful.
Can I add something to what's been presented, Audrey?
Yes, please do.
In relationship to the indication of end of life, that is not unusual at all. I'm finding a lot of souls who had thought that they could handle it this long. If they could stand this long, then they're going to leave. But because we've been able to change it and move so quickly that they don't have to leave, but you have to make that choice. So being made aware that in your birth plan, I would imagine this is what they're telling you, in your birth plan, you have an expiration date, you have a death coming up.
Right.
And you were given the opportunity to say yes or no. And it's like it's like you need to build a whole new plan. There is no plan for you after that end date. So you, with reality statements, working with your team, create a whole new life. Connections, outcome, contracts, all of that is really important for you to take seriously, because you'll be writing a whole new life. So that, and in relationship to what you were saying, Sue, what has happened is we are ending the home of origin. We've been taking those who have made agendas or coming from agendas to use other people's creations and other people's energy. We have up until 2 months ago, we've been sending them back to their homes of inner origin. In other words, to where their family of dominations began. We've been sending them back there. And there's 5 different world regions in which those homes, in which they've moved through. Like we've moved through 8, they've moved through 5. And about 2 months ago, the galactic councils said those homes have to be dismantled. Their homes of origin have to be dismantled. So we've been doing a lot of work to clear our family members who were trapped there, as well as the members of the domination cultures who are here in our world, to get them back as soon as possible, because they are going back to their home source. Right back to home source. We're no longer taking them to home of origin. Those worlds are emptying and will be dismantled. So knowing that those cities, we're not sending them back there any longer, but those members of the divine family, which we will call the human race, members of the divine family, who in their choice here in the planet have chosen to align themselves to domination agendas. We would say they're of the light, but they are, like you define them, as left brains, like assassins, or they really are turncoats. They have aligned themselves to the domination energy, and they are being removed to a place, either to a place of rechoosing, because it's like they are being unplugged. Their citizenship as a divine family member is being revoked. They used to have dual citizenship, if you will, a divine family citizenship and a domination citizenship, and they no longer can have that dual citizenship, but they have to be removed from our evolutionary stream because they're messing it up. They have to be removed and taken into a place where they get to choose differently. So that's, I think, what you might be seeing. It's a process of like pulling the plug of their citizenship, but they are in an interim place, and that's where they need to be. So I don't know if that helps, but that's what I'm sensing from what you saw. We'll be talking about it in the galactic Odyssey on Thursday, because it's really happening quite rapidly. That those cities are going to be dismantled very quickly. That's what I wanted to say.
Thank you. Thank you. So we're going to turn on our go off mute and say our goodbyes, and until we meet again next Monday.
One of the things I wanted to bring up to Arlie is, Arlie, I have found the moments when I'm like flatlined, I kind of call it flatlined because there's like no blip of excitement or no blip of, that scrumptiousness of connection that you're talking about.
Scrumptious is a great word.
Yeah, because it's just so scrumptious. Well, I just believe in my heart of hearts that we never go back to where we came from. So what I would say where you are is you're just hanging out on the plateau of your new frequency, your new reality, and you haven't regressed. You're just hanging out there for a little while. But I've been doing a lot of reading about what I've been going through too. And I'm kind of finding out that sometimes what happens is when we're a little bit flatlined and things aren't quite as exciting as they used to be is because we are actually more integrated into the new energy than we realize. It's less out of us and more within us.
Oh, I
And
love
so,
that.
so instead of, wanting to heave the plug in to plug in the lamp, consider what if you are the lamp?
I
What if you
love
are
that.
the lamp and you're waiting for others to plug into you? So it's because what I know of you and the growth that I've seen you go through, I'm just relating my own experience that the more integrated I become to the energy and the frequency I've been working with, the less I actually feel it, which sucks, but it's actually a good sign. So
That had not occurred to me.
Yeah. Because I say, sister, you're the light. You're that light, and you are. You don't need to plug into anything. Maybe people need to plug into you to be lit up. So,
Well, we'll think about that. I do like the idea that nothing is left. It's just become so integrated. I become habituated.
yeah. Until the next phase, and then you go up a different layer and level, and starts all over.
So I don't need my escalator.
Well, it's up to you. You can build one if you want.
That's how they get to you.
Yeah, I think you're building it for the people to get to you. I think you are the light, sending the beacon out. Yeah.
I really appreciate that too, because swimming when you're not on that high, that adrenaline high of like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then you go,
Mhm,
that's lovely.
It's like,
exactly.
oh. Well, Emma, I'm sorry about your brother-in-law, ex-brother-in-law. That's a shame. But I guess we're learning that that's what's happening, and maybe it's going to be happening to more and more.
Yeah, it's funny. My mom was like, well, Tim, and then this other person and this other person, and everything comes in threes. And I was like, Mom, there are a lot of people who are in the hospital with cancer right now, not just 3 people that you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess I kind of had this, like, I don't know their soul's journey. It's not for me to judge good or bad. It's just for me to use the tools that I have and give the support that I can give for, whatever the rest of the journey is, whether it's here on earth or not. I mean, in some really good ways, and then probably in some less good ways. Having my husband die 4 months after we were married really gave me a perspective that was a long time coming on death that not everybody necessarily has. Does that make any sense?
Mhm, mhm.
Mhm.
And on a totally unrelated topic, Kelly, when you were talking about the little people in the hard hats, I could only think about the construction workers on Fraggle Rock.
I'm sorry.
Have you ever seen Fraggle Rock? It's a Muppet kind of a thing. Look it up. Look up
Fraggle.
Fraggle Rock construction workers. That's what I thought of these like adorable construction workers
Yeah.
who wear Fraggles.
I will look. I will absolutely look. Thank you for that. It was
Sure.
quite, yeah, interesting. Okay, I'll let you know.
Oh, and Cinda, when you had us hysterically laughing and rolling around on the floor and talking about I'm a failure. When my daughter came back from the States and moved into the sleep out for a couple of months and spent inordinate amounts of time in the house, I was like, oh my God, who raised this kid?
Right? Right? It's like, oh my God, oh my God. I mean, you know, it's like, I can't point the finger anywhere but here.
Absolutely wonderful. She has a fantastic heart and a fantastic
Yep.
soul, and she's a total pig. And
Yep.
where the hell did that come from?
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my
I mean,
God.
she comes into a room and it's literally like those cartoons where the tornado goes through and suddenly there's clothes draped all over everything. Nothing's in its right place. Stuff is tipped over. It's like, you've only been in the room a minute. A minute.
Every light is on. There's a trail of clothes everywhere.
But you don't really mind because she's such a little spirit of light. You know, you don't really mind because, oh, it's Abby. I'll clean your shit up.
So true, so true.
Oh. All right, ladies, it's been wonderful. Thank
Thank you
you.
for reading us, Audrey.
Love
Audrey, that was lovely. Thank you.
Yes,
you.
blessings.
Thank
See
you.
you all next week or when we see you again.
Right.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.